Hey, more Christmas tales or holiday tales here on Storytime, Wildwood Storytime. We like to tell stories here at Wildwood every now and again, and especially when I'm wearing this Yeti Christmas sweater. What can be said other than, you know what, y'all, it's story time. Who's with me out there? Paul? Fellas? What? Okay. New Year's Eve. Do I play New Year's Eve? No, I don't play. I used to. The New Year's Eve gigs, I understand why people play them. You know, when you don't drink, I don't drink. So that makes New Year's Eve kind of like amateur's night for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging anybody else. It's my own personal views, okay? You want to live it up on New Year's, you want to gig on New Year's, let the good times roll. I'm not judging. I'm saying for me personally, New Year's Eve to me is, gigs in general, I like to play early and be done so I can be ensconced in my bed by midnight if I possibly can. That's really living the life fantastic, if we're honest. But back in the day, we used to play New Year's, and I remember always used to check in the calendar, where are we playing on New Year's? Because it seemed to be like a rite of passage to be playing on New Year's, and then it became a badge of honor to be playing on New Year's, and how much you could gouge people for playing someplace on New Year's. And then when we were playing the clubs all the time locally, it'd be like, who's gonna book us for New Year's? Who's playing where on New Year's? Yada, yada, yada. I remember one New Year's playing at one establishment for the first part of the evening, and then tearing down and then going over and playing at another place until like 7 a.m. As part of an all-night New Year's bacchanal. That was back when I was tipping a few. As I've said many times, or maybe a few times, maybe you've never heard me say this, but I don't drink anymore because it makes me break out in handcuffs. Okay, let's be clear on that. Although I did get, it's crazy how you get offended by stupid stuff, Paul Brown. There's a namesake individual that I have whose name is the same as mine. I don't know if he says Koch, he might say Cook, but he makes beer. He's a beer maker. His name is, I think it's Angry Bastard Ale is what he makes. And he's an aficionado of beer. He's very well known, very outspoken on social media about his beer making practices. And he contacted me, or we've been in contact over the years just because we have the same name and because we're both, out there doing our thing. And he used to, I think he played a little guitar back in the day. He used to take photos, took some photos of Steve Vai. I can't remember, there's some kind of connection there. But we made contact again a few months back. And there was something about, I made a joke going, boy, years ago when I was drinking, I would have been all over the fact that we have the same name and we would have been far more in contact, but I don't drink anymore. So, there's not that much excitement for me to have a namesake that's a beer, potentate. And he goes, isn't that funny? I wasn't very good at playing guitar and you're not very good at drinking. I was like, who said I wasn't good at drinking? That was the problem. I was very good at it. But isn't that funny? It's like, what? Who said I wasn't good at it? People are crazy, and I'm one of them. Can you dig it? Anyway, so New Year's nowadays, I haven't played a New Year's. I think the last New Year's gig I played was probably 10 years ago. And a friend of mine, Steve Cohen from back home, is a great blues harmonica player. I would just like to do some gigs with him every now and again because the music was good, the fellowship was good, and I didn't have to think about it being my band and all that other kind of stuff. So he'd say, hey, you want to do these gigs? And so I would, and we played a couple of different house parties for New Year's, but I think the last time was about 10 years ago. So I don't play on New Year's. If you want to play on New Year's, I applaud it. Let the good times roll. On New Year's, what I usually do in this day and age, ladies and gentlemen, I hang out at the home ski, we have a tasty feast, but am I usually stacking the Z's by midnight? Absolutely, because when I'm not on the road, folks, and I'm at home, I like to let the good times roll in the daytime, but when the nighttime hits, I'm usually on concho pretty early. Can you dig it? And that's not wrong, because I wake up early, I run hot all day long. Paul, I run hot all day long. And when my head hits the pillar, I'm out. Okay? Happy New Year's to you and yours, folks. Can you dig it? If you're going to do a gig on New Year's, drive careful. Be careful because people are crazy out there on the roads. But my recommendation to you, wake up early and run hot all day long. Adios. Greg Koch in the Wildwood Lair.